What is up, YouTube? This is zBLaZ3LoBBYz. Today I'm going to be showing you my personal competitive deck recipe. It's for Yu-Gi-Oh! It's updated to the newest regulations for tournaments and everything, so you don't have to worry about that. Although this is a bit out of date, and I've seen that they removed some cards that you can actually add to this deck to make it better. So the only reason I'm doing this is because I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So I figured I'd at least pass down this recipe. Like I said, it's a competitive deck. It does make a lot of people mad because it's FTK or OTK, however you want to say it. But, you know, it does make a lot of people mad, and it does make a lot of people rage. It's not the funnest deck in the world to use, but when you're trying to reach the top, it's not always about having fun. I have a fun deck that I use for certain tournaments, and I have this deck for certain tournaments whenever I was playing. So here we go, let's get started. What you want to have is Imperial Iron Wall. You probably want to have 2 or 3 of these, depending on, you know, this is up to you. I go 2. You want to have, actually, let's not use that yet. You want to have a Plaguespreader zombie. This is essential. And then you want to have a Quillbolt Hedgehog. Plaguespreader zombie is going to be the most expensive thing you're going to have in your deck, so don't worry. This is about a $30 to $50 deck. And then you want to have a Cannon Soldier or Mass Driver. Check the ban list. They took off Mass Driver. That's a spell card. It's basically like Cannon Soldier, but a spell card, and it does 400 damage instead of 500. It's going to make this deck run a lot more faster if you use that spell card than Cannon Soldier. So there we go. Now I'm going to go off to the next thing. Well, actually, I guess I could show how this works. I think that would be a good idea. So what you're going to have is, we'll use this as Mass Driver. Doesn't matter if you have Cannon Soldier or Mass Driver. You're going to have Quillbolt Hedgehog or Plaguespreader Zombie in your graveyard. You're going to have Imperial Iron Wall. You're going to have Mass Driver or Cannon Soldier. You're going to send one card in your hand to the top of your deck to bring him out. Bring out Quillbolt Hedgehog. Tribute Quillbolt Hedgehog with Cannon Soldier or Mass Driver, depending on which one you're using. Normally he'd be removed from play. Imperial Iron Wall, cards cannot be removed from play. He's going to go to the graveyard. Chain effect. Then you just do this over again. Tribute him, inflict 400 or 500 life points, depending on which card you're using. And you're just going to keep on doing this until your opponent reaches 0 life points. That's basically how this deck works. Very simple, very easy. Like I said again, you're going to want to use Mass Driver because it's easier to run with this deck. Now, for the side things, you would want a Monster Reincarnation if you're going to run Cannon Soldier, just in case all 3 end up in your graveyard. It's really up to you on that one. Like I said, you want to use Mass Driver, it's better. Now, Gold Sarcophagus, you want to at least have 1 of these to search your deck for Imperial Iron Wall or Mass Driver or Cannon Soldier. I run 2. I think you can have up to 3. I don't know if it's still semi-limited. You're going to have a Mystic Tomato, you know, just to block those attacks. And then once you get rid of all 3, then you're going to bring out Plaguespreader Zombie, block him, get him in the graveyard. Morphing Jar to ditch your hand in case you have a bad hand to get a better one. Spore as a substitution for Plaguespreader Zombie. Foolish Burial to send Plaguespreader Zombie or Quillbolt Hedgehog to the graveyard. That's how this deck runs. Very simple, very easy. Now I'm going to get to my actual deck right here. Just going to show you. You obviously want to have Marshmallow and Spirit Reaper against attacks. Wave Motion Cannon as a plan B. And also, it doesn't hurt to throw in a few Light Sworns just because they actually do have good effects, and it removes cards to the graveyard from your deck. So, like how this is going to work, I'm just going to go ahead and show you one more time. How this deck's going to work before you actually get the setup is you want to focus on sending these 2 cards to the graveyard, and then either playing this card, Wave Motion Cannon, or playing Imperial Iron Wall or Mass Driver, or bringing out Cannon Soldier. Your main focus is sending these 2 to the graveyard, and then playing these 2 or Mass Driver. If you get this first turn, or as soon as you get this card, you want to set it, activate it. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Then you either want to summon him, Monster Reborn, or play Mass Driver. That's how this works. That's sending these two. That's where Foolish Burial comes into play, or Light Sworns. Doesn't matter which one. Now, if you're going to use Mass Driver, then I'm going to recommend the following cards. You're going to want to have Mask of Darkness, just in case all 3 Imperial Iron Walls go to the graveyard. Its effect is flip. It's a flip effect. Target 1 trap card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So you get rid of all 3, you don't have any left. You know, you use Mask of Darkness as effect, and then you get this to your hand and then use it. Then your other one, Magical Stone Excavation. Discard 2 cards and target 1 spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Now for this deck, you're not always going to burn all the cards in your hand, so you'll at least have 2 or more cards in your hand at all times. So that's going to work out well with this deck. So, you know, like I said, you're going to want to have those 2 cards. Definitely Mask of Darkness if you're just for anything. Mass Driver, you will only want to have Magical Stone Excavation with Mass Driver. So that's my deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment, rate, subscribe. Also, comment what you think of this deck, please. I actually want to get some rates on it. And then comment of a future video you might want to see in the future. So, thank you guys. zBLaZ3LoBBYz over and out.